Hey guys, welcome back to the Friggy Time Podcast. I'm joined by Bo Feekins, and today we are discussing who is the best striker in the world in 2019. Bo, before you answer this highly anticipated question, I want to give you a short list of 10 players who I think are all very deserving, and then I want you to let me know, off that list, who you think is the most deserving and who is the best striker in 2019. So first off, we have Lewandowski. Then we have Aguero, Benzema, Aubameyang, Firmino, Suarez, Cavani, Harry Kane, Icardi, and none other than Jamie Vardy. Bo, who are you picking off that list as the best striker?
And the best striker, well, we have to differentiate between the best striker and the best striker in 2019. If I had to pick the best striker of all of them, I would say Harry Kane. But if we're looking specifically at 2019, I think the winner has to go to Sergio Aguero. Now, my reasoning behind this: Premier League winner, Premier League top scorer, or tied top scorer. And he's all around is probably the most consistent performer of all of them and plays in the toughest league of everyone on that list. Obviously, I think Lewandowski leads the way in goals scored in 2019, but Aguero plays in a much tougher league compared to Lewandowski. Lewandowski plays for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. When's the last time Bayern Munich haven't won the league? 7 years since Klopp was at Dortmund. Bayern consistently win the Bundesliga every year. And so Lewandowski, he not only plays for the best team, but he's playing against teams that, they're not as competitive as the likes of Aguero. Obviously, Man City, in their own right, are very dominating. But last year, obviously, we saw them in a close title race with Liverpool, and everyone knows that the Premier League is a much more competitive league than the Bundesliga.
Bo Feekins, here's what you're missing out on. What is the striker's goal? What is the striker's job? To put the ball in the back of the fucking net. All right? Lewandowski, let me give you some statistics to back this. 16 goals in 11 Bundesliga matches in the new season. In the new Champions League season, 6 goals in 4 Champions League matches. He is scoring more than 1 goal per game average rate since the 2019-2020 season has started. So the production-wise, he has been fantastic, and I think that alone separates him from the rest of the pack who are all in contention for this. In terms of others I think that are in the mix, I do agree. Aguero is a good shout. I don't think he's the best, but he is one of the best, and he has been very consistent. He's scoring tons of goals as well on a very good team in a very competitive league. So I give Aguero a shout too. Other players I would throw in the mix, I'd probably say Benzema's deserving. And I think this would be highly disputed because people have kind of a negative look on Benzema since Ronaldo has left. They've always seen as Ronaldo's carried Real Madrid, and Benzema's just been a side piece to that. But I think he's really come into his own, especially this past season. In the 2019-2020 season so far, he's had 9 goals and 3 assists in 11 La Liga matches, and has also done a good job in the Champions League, I think, with 2 goals as well. So he has also really stepped up this season and is scoring at a high rate. So I'd say those 3 are probably my front runners. Do you have any other people you'd like to throw in there?
Obviously, I would like to throw in Harry Kane, because although 2019 hasn't been his best year, he is still probably the best striker on the planet. And I'm basing that off consistent high-level performances in the top league. I think a lot of times the debate with who's the top striker kind of gets you kind of just value and depend on statistics. Well, who scored the most goals? Who scored at the best efficiency of goals? And obviously Lewandowski wins that by a mile. But Robert Lewandowski is not playing teams that Sergio Aguero and Harry Kane are playing week in and week out, right? And so obviously, I started by arguing with Aguero. I'm kind of backing Kane as the best striker on the planet. But moving back to Aguero, I would just like to highlight, every week, Sergio Aguero is going to have a tough time. Every week, there's no guarantee he even scores a goal. Whereas I think Lewandowski and Bayern Munich as a whole, he's kind of guaranteed to score a goal a game with the level of production and service he gets. Can you imagine if Sergio Aguero played in the Bundesliga, how many goals he would have? Or Harry Kane? These are hypotheticals that really matter on what league you're playing in.
I understand the argument, but Lewandowski can only do what's in front of him. And if it was only the Bundesliga, then his production in Champions League would be shit, and it's not. His production in Champions League is better than anyone else on this list. So it's showing that it's not just the Bundesliga where he's performing, but in Europe throughout.
And what
in terms of your argument for Kane has not been very good this year, and I think you're riding a bit on the coattails of previous seasons because Kane has not done well, and Tottenham have not done well.
All right.
I think
all right.
okay.
All right, right there. We're stopping right there. I'm getting in here now because no one goes to my man Harry Kane. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I love myself a Harry Kane because Harry Kane, he's an Englishman. He's the English captain, and he's the best striker on the planet. And this is why. All right. Last night, Harry Kane scored a hat trick. Right? He hasn't even reached 50 caps for England.
Who are they playing again?
They were playing Montenegro.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, you're the one that said you can only play who's in front of you.
That's true.
I'm quoting you there.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm quoting you there. All right. Harry Kane hasn't even reached 50 caps for England, and he has 31 goals. He's 5th on the list of all-time English goal scorers. He's 10 goals. If in 10 more goals, he passes Michael Owen and moves into 4th. He hasn't even reached 50 caps yet. Who was the Golden Boot winner in the World Cup? Harry Kane.
How many goals are off penalties though again?
How many goals does Lewandowski get off penalties?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is
a striker thing. I think it's unfair to criticize him for that.
Yeah, and I think moving past the idea of penalties, I would just like to. Okay, I've kind of forgotten about Aguero, who was my initial argument. So I'm putting it out there. Harry Kane, best striker in the world. Moving back to Aguero now, though. If Robert Lewandowski played at Manchester City with Gabriel, if they switch roles, would Lewandowski even play every game?
I think
because Aguero doesn't play every game. There's a lot of rotation between him and Jesus.
I think Lewandowski would assume the role of an Aguero. Like if you were to switch Aguero and Lewandowski, I think they would assume a similar role on the team. The way that he is the lead striker, Lewandowski would be the lead striker. Of course, when you have such talent around you, they will give him a rest every once in a while. But doesn't that also help Aguero because he can have fresh legs throughout the season?
Yeah, but like what I'm trying to say is Lewandowski has he's playing against not nobodies. I'm not going that hard in the Bundesliga, but he's not playing the type of competition that Aguero's playing week in and week out. And secondly, there's no one that they rotate Lewandowski out with. He plays pretty much every single game. Whereas Aguero, I've got him in my fantasy team, and it pisses me off because sometimes against teams like Watford or Southampton, he'll sit out. He won't play because Jesus will be playing. So that's another thing you have to factor into Aguero's game is he's not consistently playing every game, whereas Lewandowski is. And whether that's a credit to how good Lewandowski is, I don't think so, because he doesn't have anyone behind him like Gabriel Jesus, who arguably could be on this list because of how good he's been for City, as well as how good Aguero has been.
Okay, so I hear your argument, and I understand it. I disagree, but I think we're going to move past that. But I want to throw out another dark horse, one last person, Jamie Vardy. The type of season he's had thus far is insane. He's had 11 goals and 2 assists in 12 Premier League matches. His production is carrying Leicester up the table. I think they're currently sitting in 3rd place. Speak to Jamie Vardy's and achievements so far this season, and do you think it's right to have him on this list?
Of course, he deservingly belongs on this list, not just for his production this year, but for his production in previous years. I mean, Jamie Vardy, he's a record breaker. Mm-hmm. Here's Ruud van Nistelrooy, an all-time great striker, and here's Jamie Vardy above him on the records list. I mean, he is a renowned Premier League player, no doubt about it, and he deservingly belongs on this list. I mean,
I think he's underlooked because his play is not necessarily the most
appealing
to the eye.
But also because he plays for Leicester.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jamie Vardy played for a top 6 club, which Leicester are now a top 2 club, according to the Premier League table, if he played for a top 6 side, people would be raving about Jamie Vardy. I mean, he would be talked about as he would definitely be on this list, if not higher, if he didn't play for Leicester City. So that's just another thing. I just want to highlight the fact that Leicester City is a is relevant in the scheme of the Premier League, right?
Okay.
So you have your top 6 in the Premier League, but then you have the likes of Leicester, you have the likes of Wolves, Burnley, West Ham. These are all teams.
And Jamie Vardy is leading that charge.
Sheffield United. These are all teams that add to the top 6. So that's 11. I listed 5. That's 11 teams that no one wants to play against.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine going away from home and playing one of those 11 teams? It'd be terrible. And that's something that Robert Lewandowski, I want to re-emphasize this, he doesn't have. He plays maybe 3 or 4 tough games a year. When they play Dortmund, maybe when they play Mönchengladbach, maybe when they play Frankfurt, maybe when they play Leverkusen. That's about it. Whereas Sergio Aguero, Jamie Vardy, Harry Kane, they're playing these games almost week in and week out.
All right. Well, we'll end it there, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Follow me on Instagram at the Free Time Podcast. Follow Bo on Instagram at BoFegans. Thank you and take it easy. Peace.